Hello, thanks for tuning in to today's Creatrix Conversations. Before you launch, you must do these 4 things. Really important. And this is for anyone that's going to be doing a brand new launch, never done before, never launched anything before, and even people that have been in business for years. Before you do your next launch, you must do these 4 things. My name's Flora Ware, and I'm a spiritual life and business coach, an archetypal marketing consultant, and a launch strategist for spiritual entrepreneurs who want to increase their impact and their income. And I'm in a unique position that for people who are very logical minded and all about the strategy and the action, I can provide the intuitive and spiritual practices that balance them out. And for anyone that's really on the spiritual and intuitive and spontaneous and feminine flow side, I can provide strategy, structure, and a logical way of making a plan and helping entrepreneurs have a strategy and a plan, whether it's for their launch or for their growth. Good morning, Rolly. Thanks for watching. And every week, every Tuesday, I'm here at 10 a.m. Pacific. Creatrix Conversations is my weekly download of all things mindset, marketing, and magic. And this week's episode is actually a combination of all those things, because before you launch, you need to have your mindset, your marketing, and your magic all working together. So let's dive in. First thing that you must do before you launch, and it's actually 2 things depending on if you've launched this before. So if it's a brand new offer, the first thing you need to do is validate your idea. What I mean by that is that you need to ask around to see if people are interested in what you are thinking about offering. It's really simple. You can ask people in person. You can certainly ask on social media and really gauge what the interest is. If the response is amazing, you know that you are onto something. Now, there are a few caveats with that, however, because are you asking enough people? Have you asked only 5 people and they kind of seemed lukewarm? Well, you probably need to ask more people. Are you asking the right people? Because if you ask, maybe if you ask your mom and she's not your ideal client, she says, "That sounds like a great idea, honey." Well, so you want to make sure that you ask enough people and you're asking the right people to see if there's interest, to see what the response is to your new idea. The other caveat is, if whatever you are wanting to offer, whatever is like a burning desire in your heart that feels like it's your soul's work, that it's like your destiny to create and birth this offering in the world, well, power to you. Go ahead and create it. If you feel that strongly that it's almost like it doesn't matter if people are going to like it or not. If it's about something more than that, rather than you wanting this to be a really successful and lucrative launch, so by all means, go ahead and do it. Those are the few caveats. So the other first thing is, if you have launched before and this is a relaunch, the first thing that you need to do is to analyze your last launch, right? It is so important to take the time to review, to look back and reflect. And see what went really well, what didn't work out so well. How can you improve your launch, your delivery of the program or the offering, whatever it is? How can you improve it? How can you streamline things? How can you reduce your stress, right? Because here's the thing, I talk to a lot of people that are totally fried by the end of their launch, and that is a big sign that something's out of alignment, right? So if you were totally stressed out and just fried from your last launch, really good idea to look back, review and analyze, and find out find out why, right? And work to put in new systems or different ways of doing things so that your launch feels feels in flow, right? Feels great. You don't have to be, launches don't equal stress, okay? I mean, there's going to be a little bit of stress, of course, but it isn't just a given that you're going to be completely burnt out at the end of a launch, okay? So that's the first thing that you need to do. If it's a brand new launch or an offer, validate your idea. If you're relaunching, to analyze your last launch, okay? Number 2, visioning. This is one of my favorite parts, I will admit. This is the energetics of what you are creating and putting out into the world. So this is just as important as the action strategy, if not more important. This is where you're really connecting to your magic. So you need to spend some time visioning. And this can be done by meditation or through journaling or doing a client clarity ritual. I'll drop a link in the comments in a moment because I have a free ritual guide with 5 rituals that are designed for entrepreneurs. So you want to do something like that that really gets you clear on the energetics and the magic of what you're creating, what you're offering, and then you want to anchor it all in by creating an altar that's dedicated to this launch. For example, I love altars, creating that sacred space that you're going to see every day. It's going to remind you of what you're creating. Or you could anchor it in with a vision board if you like to do vision boards, and that could be a physical vision board that you do as a collage that you put on your wall, or it could be something digital that maybe you have as your wallpaper on your computer, whatever works for you. But something that after you do the visioning work, you want to anchor it in something in your physical space, right? That daily reminder. And the other thing is that the third step in this is you know that I'm all about rituals. If you've been following me for any length of time, is to do a ritual that is like an opening circle, an opening ceremony for the journey of your launch. And this ritual can be about reclaiming your power as a leader. It can be like an initiation for yourself that really sets the tone for your whole journey of the launch and then the delivery of your program. So let me know in the comments if you've ever done anything like this before one of your launches, some meditation, some ritual, or creating an altar. And like I said, I'm going to drop the link for my magnetic clarity ritual guide. It's 5 rituals for spiritual entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in that, click on the link and sign up for that, because I've got some great feedback from the women that have done it, and I love to share it. So here is that right now. Okay, so the third step, the third thing that you must do before you launch is get organized with a plan, right? There's no way around it that when we are launching something, when we are making an offer, when we are, I really see our businesses as an outward, real world extension of who we are, our values, our spirituality, all of that. So we are operating in the 3D world. We need to get organized and we need to have a plan. So sit down and draft up the overview of each stage of your launch. And so you go from big picture and then break down in each stage of the launch all of the individual tasks. Okay, so that you know how many emails and social media posts you need to write, that you know your timeline and your dates, you know when your sales page needs to be ready, and you're not, you're not caught off guard and you're not winging it as you go along. You know well in advance. There's so many different programs that you can use. I love using Trello for this to really stay organized. I also use Excel spreadsheets and I, practically live and die by my Google Calendar, right? To stay on track. So, but there's other programs that you can use, whatever really works for you. My wife and business partner, Christy, is a pen and paper girl, right? She's got calendar printouts that she has on the wall right here, and she writes them down, and she has a day timer that she writes in. So I'm more digital, she's a little more pen and paper, but whatever works to keep you organized. Good morning, Lily, thanks for watching. So depending on the size of your launch and whether or not you've done it before, right? Whether it's a new launch or a relaunch, this is why I always say it takes at least 8 to 12 weeks to properly launch a program. You want to be getting organized well in advance. In fact, I was just talking with a colleague the other day who's already planning her launch for February. And I know that I'm also already, in the really preliminary planning stages for my spring launch as well. So if you are at all thinking that you're going to launch something this autumn, you better be working on your plan, right? This fall or this winter, because like I said, it takes a good 8 to 12 weeks to really get organized with a plan, and you want to do all of those steps. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for tuning in. So for the people that just joined, I'll do a quick overview. I just finished the third thing, but before you launch, you must do these 4 things. The first one is to validate your idea, if it's a brand new launch or a brand new offer, or if it's a relaunch, to analyze your last launch, right? Review and look at how you can improve things from the last time. The second thing is visioning, doing the energetics, the magic, the ritual around that, and I explained a bit more about that. The third thing is to get organized with a plan, create a strategy, so that you know what's happening in every stage of your launch. And the fourth thing that you must do before you launch is hire help. That's so important. Now, of course, this will depend on your capacity and how much help you can hire. But, launches, people work with coaches and consultants, of course, obviously, graphic designers, right? I know that is not my zone of genius. I've been working with a graphic designer for, since the beginning of my business, because that's where I need help. A VA for automations. My goodness, what would I do without my VA for that additional tech and admin help? A copywriter, a copy editor. I also work in that capacity. I have for 10 years. You might be hiring an affiliate manager if you're doing a big affiliate marketing launch. There's lots of different roles within a launch. And like I said, though, it depends on your capacity. You need to know for yourself where your, shortcomings are with your skill set, so that you can stay in your zone of genius and hire help to support you where you need it most, right? A lot of times online entrepreneurs really fall into this trap of the solopreneur and feel like they need to wear all the hats and do everything themselves. And while it is true that we do need to do a lot of different things, it really is a shortcoming. And don't fall into that trap. Like, DIY is fine for crafts, but not for business, not for really taking you to the next level of your business. So identify for yourself where you need the most help and hire that help. You will have a smoother and more successful launch. I guarantee it. So I would love to invite you to a marketing breakthrough call with me. That could potentially lead to a soulful strategy session. Okay, so if you are at all feeling like you are planning a launch in the next 3 to 6 months, and you want an in-depth consultation about your marketing plan, about your launch strategy, talk to me, because I am offering a 3-hour soulful strategy session that is really a chance for us to dive deep into all of that. And if you are ready to go for a longer term, I of course have my 6-month activated and aligned coaching program. And over the 6 months, we go through self, right? Understanding your archetypal strengths. It has to start with the self. Strategy, sales. You need sales to stay in business. Systems, sustainability, and sacredness, because you do want your life and your business to feel sacred, don't you? So those are the 6 pillars that we go through in the 6 months of coaching with me. But if you're not quite at that place yet to invest in the 6-month program, I have a 3-hour soulful strategy session that is ideal as an in-depth consultation pre-launch, right? We're gonna talk about your marketing. We're gonna talk about your strategy. So hook me up, hook up with me, I guess, and we can get on the phone for a free marketing breakthrough session, a free consult call, where we can talk about what you're planning for your next launch. So let me know in the comments if you'd like this. I'll drop the link to book your call. And I really, launches are a bit of a specialty of mine now. I have been working in my previous career, I've done almost 30 online launches. I've created, designed the marketing plan, and coordinated at least almost 30 online launches, and every single one has generated sales ranging from 3,000 to 36,000, maybe even more. So if you're wanting that kind of support from someone who is experienced, and I'm not talking cookie cutter, this is going to be customized and unique to you, and your offer and your leadership strengths, then I would love to talk. So again, thanks for tuning in. If you've been inspired and you feel like sharing this with your friends, I would love that. Reach out and let's talk launches. Have a great day, and I'll see you next Tuesday.